Good morning. Good morning. So let me do a little housekeeping here. When you get here, make sure you say hello in the comments and let me know that you're here. And I hope you're having an amazing morning already. Some people, the time zone that you're in, you're probably just getting up. But make sure you say hello. I would love to know that you're here. Let me get to where I'm. Hold on a second. Thing up. All right. Perfect. I think. Okay, there we go. All right. So while I'm waiting on a few people, that reminds me I need to do this. All right. So now that that's done, I it's a little bit rainy here today in Georgia. And and it was very rainy yesterday, but I feel like it's washing all this pollen away. But the fun thing about that is it washes it away, but it also produces more pollen because things start growing more. But I love the beauty of the springtime when everything's beginning to bud out and grow and reach its little leaves and everything out into the world. And I kind of like to look at us in that way, that we're in this place right now in our lives because if you're here, you're wanting to make lasting change in your life. And you may not know what that lasting change is, and that's perfectly okay. The thing is that we're like those budding spring flowers, and we're beginning to really soak into those roots all the nutrients that we need, which is the knowledge and the expertise, the different ideas that help us to make this lasting change. And so, as you're looking in, if you're in another part of the world, you may not be having this springtime stuff that I'm having here, or even, if you're a lot further north from me, I know some people are still having snow, which is mind boggling to me. I haven't seen the first snowflake since I think I saw some last year, but I'm not sure. The thing is that just imagine yourself as one of these beautiful new flowers, the trees that have all this big foundation, yet they're sprouting all these new leaves and they're becoming all new again. Good morning, Lynn. Great to have you here. And so, see yourself right now as that springtime activity of rejuvenation, right? Becoming all new again. And it's a beautiful place to be, right? And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is, I know we're working on magic this month, right? And it's today is April 10th, so we're 10 days into our magic month. And the one of the things that what I was thinking about last night was that about this stage when someone is in coaching, like if I've got a coaching client and we've had so many sessions in, they start having a little bit of resistance to things, and that's just the nature of us, because like I've talked before about how our subconscious mind, where the hell it is, I don't know, but I like to think it's back here. It's kind of hanging out back here. So I think the conscious mind's right there in the front because it kind of feels like it's leading, or you think it's leading, but it's really the subconscious mind that's doing all the leading, like a backseat driver, right? Um, so the thing that happens is we can do a lot of stuff by being inspired and doing these affirmations and the journal prompts and sharing stories and focusing on magic. We can make amazing changes. The thing is that if our and one of the things I talked about on Monday was rising above our programming, right? Well, what happens as we're getting into the month is that our programming, our subconscious mind, what it believes about us, and we have created that belief by the things that people have said to us, the things that we've internalized that they've said, or something that's happened to us that gave us a belief about who we are. And a lot of those come in, boom, as soon as you're born. And they say some of those beliefs happen in utero, that the beliefs of the parents and the way the parents eat and take care of themselves and those kinds of things actually contribute to your belief system when you're born. And, so it doesn't matter if you believe that or not. The thing is, that is what is, I feel is really true, because when a person is pregnant and they don't want the baby, they have a different vibration inside. And so the baby is born with a little bit of that I'm not good enough, I'm not wanted feel inside, right? I don't want to really get into all that. But the thing is that, hold on a second. Let me get a sip of my coffee. The thing is that our subconscious mind has been taking notes and logging all these things all this time. So however old you are, just that know from the time you were conceived till today, different things have been logged into your subconscious mind. So what if you believe that it deep inside your subconscious believes that the world is not there to help you, it's taking away, or you just don't deserve it, whatever those beliefs may be, those are going to start popping in, because your subconscious mind's whole job is to protect you. And so if you've been a person that had this particular belief right here, and we're stretching that belief out, it'll let you do that for a while, and then it'll start saying, this doesn't feel safe. We don't know what's going to happen here. Maybe this is going to cause her to fall off a cliff. I don't know. But we know we can survive all the other stuff because we've been doing it for a long time. We don't know about this. So it starts telling you things and sabotaging you, like, I don't have time for this. I'm I've got other things to do. This is not as important. It's not really magic. The whatever's going on, that is perfectly normal. And I find that, sometimes that'll happen to me, sometimes pretty quickly, if I've been in a class or something and it's very, very inspirational. And I believe, that these things are possible because they're proving to me that they're possible. Sometimes the day after I finish the course, and this is really true in the past, not so much now, but it still will rear its head sometimes, right? And that may be you. I don't know. But if it is, in the comments say that is me sometimes. But what will happen is, like, after the energy and the vibration of the class, the inspiration and all that feels, the next day, it's like suddenly like, whoof, what the hell was I thinking? The people that got up there and talked, they're the exception. They weren't talking to me. They were talking to the elite people that already have something going on, that they can produce all of this stuff, right? And so I've talked about our thermostat before, right? We have a thermostat of who we believe ourselves to be. And so the thing that I'm wanting to bring up today is that if you're starting to feel a little nudge about, there's someplace else I need to spend my time, this is not really important, this isn't really going to make a difference, is the world really that magical? Why am I supposed to be focused? If you're getting any of those whys and hows and all of that stuff, then just take a breath and just recognize that that's a natural process that your subconscious mind puts out and takes you through, right? So when that starts happening, and I would say for some people, that's probably beginning to happen right about now. And, some people, it may take a lot longer for that to show up. But for most people, not just the elite, not just the ones that aren't trying, but for most people, it starts about this space. And I'm telling you so that you are aware that that is normal and you don't give up on yourself. Because there are so many times that people are in this place where they're beginning to make these changes and they're feeling it and they're feeling, oh, it's so delicious, right? The way it feels as it's just right over the hill and you're going to be there. Then they'll start getting all this angst about it. And they'll just, like, if they're at the top of the hill and they're just about to crest over, suddenly they'll take off the brakes, take their foot off the gas, and they'll right on down. And then they're having to go back up the struggle bus, right? And so I'm going to be sharing the affirmation in the journal prompt in just a moment. But I really wanted to find out if you're having any of that starting with you. And so, Lynn, you're the one that's here this morning that I can see. I see Norma Jean has just popped in. Go ahead and say hello in the comments. I just kind of see you over here, so you may not actually be there yet. I don't know how this works sometimes. But if you're beginning to have any of that questioning stuff going on within you, and it may not just be about this, it could be about something that you're working on and you're feeling like you up until today it was feeling like, yes, this is the perfect thing for me. And then suddenly today it's like, I don't know, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Hello, Norma Jean. And because, like I said, that is a normal thing that our subconscious mind, you feel disconnected today. Okay. See, it's weird how our subconscious mind just kind of, it's like clockwork. If you are aware of the process that it takes you through and how it shows up, then it makes it a little bit easier to see, this is normal. This is okay. I can still choose to make these changes because I know it's just my subconscious mind saying, I'm not sure about this. And you've got to show it that you have the strength and the dream and the desire to be magical, right? And so we are still focused on the magical month because to me, that being in a magical place just feels better, right? And so we can choose every day how we want to show up, how we want to feel inside. And sometimes it's not so easy to be in that magical place. And if that's you, that's okay too. The thing is that, like I've said before, it's you find something, anything, something small that's magical. The penny on the ground, the red light that turned green just as soon as you got to it. You get up in the morning and you feel good for no reason, or you get up in the morning and you start brushing your teeth and you look at yourself in the eyes and you think, you're pretty damn good, whatever the magic may be. And I will say there are times, for me, I will get up and I'll be getting ready and I'll look in the mirror and I'll think, you know what? You're pretty good. You're okay. You're magnificent. It'll change. But then there are other days that I get up and I think, what the heck? I see the lines, the lines, the lines, and the lines. And then I think, what the hell? You should have aged better. You should have taken care of yourself better. You should have, you should have, you should have. And I'll should all over myself. And the thing is that we all fall prey to that, right? Recognizing the things about ourselves or our lives that we don't like, that we feel don't put us where we want to be. However, the seeing of that, as long as you don't stay in it, is beautiful, because when you see the things, me too, but no, I am here now. Yes, yes. And when we see things, we have the ability to change our thoughts about them or to see them in a different way. So, like I said, I think it's a couple of days ago, I got up and I was cleaning my face and about to start getting ready. And I really noticed the lines around my eyes. And like even this morning, I got some puffiness under my eye, but I didn't sleep very well last night. I was so excited about some different things that I couldn't get to sleep. And so, the all those things that I noticed, that then it was like, okay, you've noticed these. So what do we need to do about it? So there's a thing that I do. I have a Healy machine, which is change helps to change the state of the vibration of your body toward healing and everything. And one of the sessions that you can do is all about the health of your skin and your body. And so I thought, okay, so I start there. I do one of those sessions, and then the other thing I could do is make sure I'm drinking more water. The other thing I can do is make sure I'm getting enough sleep and I am being mindful of the food that I'm eating. And all of those things are something that I can do. And without the noticing those things in my face, I might not have taken that direction. So when we see things that we don't like, whether it's, we see our wallet doesn't seem to be padded quite as much as we would like, then it's like, what can I do to be better steward with our money? What can I do to show the universe, to show God that I am in charge of it? And I will say that I pop into that place a little bit sometimes too. And what I noticed that when I did my taxes this year, I know I'm probably sharing things that you don't really care about, but maybe it means something to you. I don't know. I feel compelled to share. But when I was doing my taxes this year, I hate to admit that what I typically do, because I don't take the time to log everything all the time. So I have this container in my closet that I drop in receipts. I drop in anything that I know I need to have for my taxes. So then when it comes time for taxes, I got to get this stuff out. I got to go through it, and it takes some time. And it's not the amount of time it takes. It just feels like one of those tasks like, ugh, I don't want to do it, right? So I'm actually filing an extension this year because I delayed doing all of the stuff so long that the CPA said, we're going to have to file an extension. So I'm taking care of that today. But one of the things that all of that angst about that brought up for me was to think that if I would do my grid, my logging my information every month instead of at the end of the year, well, that would be so much easier, right? And I know some people are so good about this, but for some reason inside me, I have always been an entrepreneur, a creative. The doing that kind of stuff, I hate it, or I have hated it, right? So I'm trying to reframe how I feel about it. And so I don't typically get out these logs and have my Google Docs and all of those things. That is a resistance piece for me. And knowing that, what I did was I had a ledger, found it in my closet. Okay, so I've had it for a while, just forgot completely about it because I used it for a while. So the last time I had done something in it was 2015, if that tells you how long it's been sitting in my closet, right? So I dug it out and I went back and I logged January, February, and March. And I got things in there. So it's got all the information, and I created I got a manila envelope to put all the receipts and everything in. And so I'm taking charge of the financial aspect of it. And for some of you, that may sound so infantile, maybe? I don't know, because some people are so good about that. That has not been me. And like I said, by knowing how aggravated and oh, and mm, feeling I was about that, I thought, I don't like the way this feels. And I want to be such a better steward with my money. And I want to know every month what I've brought in and what I've released out, and how the flow is happening, right? But I didn't know before till the end of the year, and then I would go through. And so I am, by noticing all of those things, making decisions that help me to not feel that at the end of the year, to help me be a better steward, to be more aware of the flow. Because we want money to flow in and out. We want it to flow in and out. If it only comes in and then we kind of hoard it, then that kind of messes things up. It's got to have an outflow too, an in and an out. Good morning, Raina. Good morning. And so, by recognizing we're doing certain things, we allow our subconscious mind to get on board with a change. And the thing is that, after a few weeks in, it's really easy to stop doing the thing that you're doing to make life better. And that's what I'm getting to with all of this. We all have things that are going on, and I can only share mine because I don't know yours. But if anybody wants to share something that has been going on for them, that they've recognized that this is something I don't like, and I now am looking for a way to change it. And the thing that we want to do is change it, but continue with the process. And that's what all of this is for, is to help us to not only recognize what we want to change, but get the tools and the mindset to continue on it when it doesn't feel so good anymore, right? It's like working out at the gym. You feel really good when you first, I want the negative self-talk to stop. Yes, yes, beautiful. So to rephrase that, the negative self-talk to stop, so you can talk to your subconscious mind and say, hey, every time you catch yourself with a negative thought, say, ooh, and snap, do something to break the state and say, how can I say that better? And then just turn it around. And you're not going to do it every time, but be kind to yourself, because it is a learning process. It is something that we get into, and we can be this new person, but it's a one step at a time. So be gentle with yourself. And when you notice that you're doing it, that's when you stop. And what you'll find is that the more you do that, the quicker you'll notice that that's happening. And then you'll be like one or two words in, and it's like, bam, oh, I'm not going to go there. And so it is something that you can do gradually. And I hope that helps, Norma Jean. So let me get to the affirmation and the journal prompt. All right, so hold on. Let me get it here. All right, let's see. Still working on the clutter in my home, but I'm out enjoying life, dating, line dancing, working out at the gym, avoidance of what is happening at home. Okay. Well, then one of the things that might be beneficial, well, let's ask, what do you think would be beneficial to you to be able to take care of some of this clutter in your home? Do you have an idea of what would help you to do that and still be able to do all of this other stuff, but it be fun and not ever used as an avoidance? So give me an idea of what you think, and then I'll share some with you. But let's go to the affirmation. Gratitude is my guide, leading me to discover the extraordinary in the everyday. And like I said, we're sometimes resisting when we get to this place of seeing the extraordinary. But this is letting us know that we can have gratitude for the simplest thing, and that will help us to see how things can be extraordinary. And so, what can you find today to be grateful for? something that maybe you wouldn't have without this prompt, right? Let me think. Well, the something I'm grateful for is I sent all my stuff to the CPA, right? And of course, because I didn't want to do all the tax stuff, then what I did was I kind of delayed it enough that when I sent her the information, I didn't really give her enough time, right? So I'm owning that. But I was beginning to think last night when I went to bed, I was thinking, I haven't heard from her. I haven't heard from her. Does that mean she's not going to do my taxes? What did I do it too late that she can't? What are we going to do? And so that was in my mind a little bit. That might have had a little bit to do with why I didn't sleep. I was excited about other things, and then that was kind of back there too. And then I woke up this morning to something that I'm grateful for. She reached out and said, "Yes, I'll do this, the taxes for you this year, and we're going to file an extension." So she's sending me the contract and then the bill, and I'll take care of that today. So that is, I'm really grateful for that because that takes that stressor off my plate, right? And sometimes our gratitude comes from we did something to reduce the stress. Yeah, I'm just saying. All right, so let's see. Make my home a priority and the peace it would give me. That's great, Lynn. However, there are other things like not just stay home a bit more. Maybe if you would set when you are home, like you get home and you're getting ready, take set a timer for 5 minutes and do something for 5 minutes that helps with the the clutter in your home. And that way it's not like you're because sometimes if we feel like, well, I have to stay home more and I really want to be doing that, then you're going into this place of decluttering your home from this angst to this, kind of like I did with my taxes, right? Oh, I don't want to be doing that. So if you can kind of maybe make it a game that every time you wake up, you do 5 minutes of something, or when you get home from work, you do 5 minutes of something, and 5 minutes is not that long, right? But you can make a little bit of a dent in 5 minutes. Of course, will you walk into the room and think, oh, no, but you will be exercising that muscle and giving yourself the grace to say, I can still do all the stuff I want to do. And then I work around decluttering my home while I'm doing it. I'm not avoiding it with those things. I am giving to my life and enjoying fun and then doing that at the same time. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning. So that's what I would suggest. So let me know, Lynn, does that feel because sometimes the peace comes in the doing. And so if you're doing something every day, like if you're doing this 5 minute thing, you're making it a game. Maybe it's like if there's a room in your house that you know you really want to focus on, every time you pass by that door, walk in there and do something. Or if that doesn't seem doable, if you go in that room to do something, you take 5 minutes to declutter something. There's ways to work this in so that it's not really intrusive. And, if you have to start with a little corner, I had a client one time that she was wanting to declutter her home and it felt so big that she couldn't. It's like, I don't know where to start. And it feels like I do something and nothing happens and all of that. So we made it a game, the 5-10 minutes, whatever she had time for. And she got to the point where she was doing 15 minutes at a time. But, you start where you are, start with 5 minutes. And we focused on a corner in her room so that she was creating this space that anytime she wanted to feel calm and peaceful, this one space was set up. And so she set up this corner, and it only took her, it didn't take her long to get it set up because she was doing, 10, 15 minutes at a time, but it didn't feel like it was taking her away from the things that she wanted or needed to do. And then over time, it got to a place where whenever she needed to feel that peace in her home, she went and sat in that corner. Of course, she had to put blinders on so she couldn't see the other stuff. But what that created for her was that sanctuary spot. And then as she kept that process up, she started affecting the rest of the house. And that way she was able to go and do and be whoever she wanted to be while she was taking care of this place at home. So I hope that might give you some ideas, make you understand or feel that it's okay. And it's still okay to go and do all your fun stuff. I mean, I'm quite jealous, to be perfectly honest with you, that you get the opportunity to go and do all that stuff. And that is one thing that I'm working on for me, to give myself that ability. But unfortunately, right now, my daughter and I are sharing a car because her car went ugh, and we had to get rid of it. And so she's not in a position to buy another car right now. And so she lives with me and we're sharing a car. So I have her schedule on my calendar so I know what days am I definitely not able to get in the car and go somewhere. And so it's really biting into, my ability to go and do some of these things. And right now it works because there are days that I think I get kind of caught up in all the tasks that I do for business and everything, that I might use that as a procrastinator and get in the car and go. Who knows? It's probably God's way of saying, hey, you focus on this today, okay? All right. So Norma Jean said, I found online that each day you roll a die and pick a room, and that's the number of items you remove. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yes, that sounds like it would be fun, especially if you're a gambler kind of person, a game kind of person. That would be good. Um, so Lynn says that's a good suggestion. Part of what I'm doing actually is making sleep more of a priority. So I leave the dishes in the sink. I have those spaces that I can concentrate on. That will take a little time. It is possibility. I just need to make it a priority if it really is that important to me. Yes, yes. But there's a lot of angst in that phrase. I need to make it a priority if it really is that important to me. There's a lot of angst in that. And I just want to give you a breath that sometimes things can still feel like an amazing priority and you can procrastinate on it. It's just nature, right? Like I said, my taxes were damn important to me, yet I still procrastinated and didn't do because it felt like something, uh, you know? And so just kind of release that angst, that and it may not feel that way in you, but it sounds like an angst to me, or it would in me. Well, let's put it that way. And so by releasing that, you're giving yourself permission to do what you said right there. So you leave the dishes in the sink. Who cares? You can take care of it in the morning. But I will say, one of my pet peeves that I cannot stand, getting up in the morning and there be dishes in the sink, that gives me more angst than doing the dishes. So it's you do you, okay? And whatever works the best for you. But if you can create those spaces that you can relax and concentrate, if it feels like things are kind of out of whack and you're a little stressed over it, go get in that spot that gives you that good feel. Take some breaths and just release it. And what you may find is that in that releasing of the pressure of all of that, you find that you have the wherewithal then to decide, I think, I see that thing right there. I want to just take care of real quick. And you just do it because you didn't have all of this, I've got to do it because this is a priority. And just want to give you some freedom space right there. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, Lynn. And sometimes it just takes somebody else to point it out, right? And the same thing happens to me, and I'll be saying something, or I'll talk, especially when I talk to my coach, and she'll say, "Now, Vicki, let's look at that. Maybe we need to relook at that." And a lot of times it takes an outside perspective to help us see our blocks, right? And so let me get to the journal prompt. All right, so you ready? Now, our affirmation, let me go back and just show what the affirmation was. Gratitude is my guide, leading me to discover the extraordinary in the everyday. And so finding something that you're grateful for. So this morning, maybe, Lynn, you're grateful for realizing that you don't have to have so much angst about this and you can still have fun and do your thing and take care of this on the back burner, right? I can see you line dancing now. All right. So let me get to the journal prompt. List 3 things you're grateful for today and describe how they bring beauty into your life. And so now this just really feels good because when you're grateful for things, a lot of times it's like I said, this morning I was grateful that I got the message from the CPA that, she was going to file the extension for me and she sent me all the things for me to sign and send the money and all of that. And so it took that off of me, that stress of, right? So as I am looking at this journal prompt, that is one of the things that I'm grateful for today. And the way it brought beauty into my life is that I kind of felt like there was this cloud that was, I guess, on my glasses, right? It was the cloud that was keeping me from seeing a lot of the things around me because I was kind of caught into this anxiousness of, I haven't done this yet. I delayed it. I did it too late. I did, right? And now it's like I can feel like, obviously, if I delayed it, maybe it needed to be delayed. Obviously, if she's now doing this and we're filing an extension, maybe something's going to come about that I wouldn't have put it in the document. Maybe there's something that is sitting, a receipt or something somewhere that I need to add in there that I didn't, whatever. I can see now that I'm grateful for that. And I can see how maybe the delay and having to do the extension could be the best thing that happened, right? And I think we can take anything if we really look at it through a different lens. We can take anything and make it feel like that is a good thing, right? And so today, get your journal out or your notebook out and list 3 things you're grateful for today. And if you can think of more than 3 things, hell, put them down. There's nothing wrong with being finding more things to be grateful for, right? But put at least 3 things that you're grateful for. And you could actually start this as a daily practice to where when you wake up in the morning, you just lay there for just a second and say, what are 3 things that I'm grateful for? And just say them. You don't have to write them down. You don't have to do anything, but just getting the habit of seeing something beautiful in your day. So for me, always, I opened my eyes and I took a breath. I'm very grateful for that. And then, I might be grateful that my cat's laying there beside me and I can pet the cat, and that I actually got up out of the bed and I could walk across the floor. And I can find those things to be grateful for, but kind of stretch it. And this is a lesson to me as well, that sometimes I take the obvious thing to be grateful for. And those are wonderful things to be grateful for, but maybe there's something not so obvious that's underneath that I have not been showing gratitude for, right? And so, maybe today you can share in the group. Maybe if there's something that right now that you can have gratitude for the day, or maybe you're showing gratitude for something that happened yesterday, just share it in the comments. What is one of the things that you can find today to be grateful for? So I would love to hear your response and see, because it's a beautiful thing. A lot of times, remember, by saying something, we kind of really give it wings so that the gratitude can keep coming, right? I mean, sip of Joe, right? This is my Starbucks Denver mug. You notice the lipstick on there. I don't know what it is. Sometimes my lipstick doesn't even stain the cup, and other times it's like I have to get it and wipe it off. And this is probably TMI, but I dated a gentleman one time that I gave him. He was over at my house, and I gave him a cup of coffee, and he looked at me. And he said, "Vicky," and I said, "What?" And he said, "There's lipstick on this cup." I said, "What?" And I looked, and there was. And then I looked in almost every cup. It wasn't coming off in the dishwasher, and I was, because it was me. I wasn't even aware of it. And so there's lots of times there's things in our life that are all around us, and we don't even notice it till somebody points it out. So I know that kind of is a silly thing, but until he pointed that out, I did not even notice the lipstick stain on the cup. All right, so let's see, Raina. I have a cousin that is very ill. I went to see her last night. She was making a lot of progress and had a good day. Ah, I'm so grateful it lifted my spirits. Yes. And if you want to, you can put her name, just the first name, in the comments, and then we will all through today say a prayer for her. And let's just say those a community coming together in prayer for someone is not a bad thing, right? And so yeah, definitely. And I can feel that it's always so amazing when you see someone that you've been worried about. Shirley, okay. Oops. All right, so Shirley, just let's just take a moment, okay? If you guys are open and willing, we're just going to take a moment, and we're going to collectively, those of us that are here. I know there's not a lot of people on here today, but anybody that's watching the replay, take a moment right here as we are, and give healing, love, and light, sending prayers for Shirley, Raina's friend, and our cousin. So let's just take a moment. And if you're a praying person, say a prayer. If you're not a praying person, just take a moment in silence to send them healing. Okay. So Shirley is a person, and I know, Erlyn, you just joined us, but we're about to do a community, or a little small moment of silence, of prayer for Raina's cousin, Shirley. All right. So let's do this thing. All right, come on back to this space. And I don't know if you guys could feel it, but I could feel the tingles of the vibration of everybody collectively sending that prayer out. And it doesn't take but one or two people to be doing this. Actually, two people together can create an amazing difference for someone, right? And so I hope you all participated in that, because it felt like it. And I just thank you, Stacy. It just felt like the thing to do to help. And so when you're watching the replay, #replay, please take a moment when you do that to send out some healing prayers for Shirley. And you're welcome, Raina. And that is the something that we can do. And there's not a lot that we can do to help Raina, but that is one thing. And so I'm glad we were able to do that for you this morning. So thank you so much for sharing that, so that we had the opportunity, right? Because if you hadn't shared in the moment what you were grateful for, then we would not have had that opportunity to help you. And so that is one of the things I want you all to be aware of. This community, we're here for each other, right? We can benefit each other in so many profound ways, but nobody knows if you don't tell them, right? Yeah, prayer and intention are powerful. And so I want that to be an eye-opening experience for you, that we don't want you to just feel like you can only share the good stuff, you know? And that was a good thing that she shared, that she was grateful and it lifted her spirits, but she was still in need of prayer. So if you want to, share that something's bothering you, or maybe you're having a hardship or something that you just need some prayers, you don't even have to say, this is what's going on for me. You can say, anybody that's available, send me some love and light, send me some prayers or whatever, just make a post. But I really want you to recognize that that's a miracle. That's magic too, right? To be in the group and be able to put that up and people actually do it, right? That's beautiful. That's magical. And so, like I said, this is a magic month. And I'm sure it's going to keep going after April, but utilize all the magic this group is contributing to and creating in this space, and utilize it to the best of its ability, right? And so post in the group. Do your affirmations on your index cards, your sticky notes, your mirror, your screensaver on your phone, whatever you do, put it on your device. Put that affirmation somewhere where you can see it and utilize it, right? And I'm going to go back and I'm going to share that again. So here we go. So our affirmation for today is: gratitude is my guide, leading me to discover the extraordinary in the everyday. So if you want to write something that's shorter and to put on your mirror, or maybe you have a little small space to put it, just put gratitude is my guide for the day. And adopt that, right? Become grateful for finding things to be grateful for. And then our journal prompt, I have to find it again. All right. And our journal prompt is: list 3 things you're grateful for today and describe how they bring beauty into your life. And make sure you're putting that in your journal or your notebook, and utilizing all these things, right? And going in the group and sharing. And like I said, you don't have to share what your 3 things are if you don't want to. But the beauty and the gift of sharing it out to others, it just brings more things to be grateful for into your life. Putting on paper is great, but speaking it out even more, right? I mean, hell, if you're up to it, do a live, speak it out big. But if that's not you, then just put it in written form. But as you do that, speak it, right? Putting it out there a little bit more. And, that's how we just did this for Raina, was she spoke out in her message here what was going on that she was grateful for. And we were able to offer some healing, love, and light and prayer for her cousin, Shirley, right? And so what do you need? What do you want? What would help you to have this magical day? And we start with this gratitude. But I really want you to see the beauty that we just created with that experience. And you can have that experience all the time in this container, in this group, right? And I know I'm streaming out in different places. So anybody that's watching this, that is where it's streaming to, then just know that this community is so amazing. And it is it is, to me, it just kind of feels like home, right? And I like to say that, yes, shared experiences. And I like to say it's like all of these people in this group are sitting in my backyard. We're around a campfire. We're singing Kumbaya, and we're just healing and loving and allowing, right? And so if you want to be part of that, then you go to vickypoole.com. That's VICKIEPOOLE.com. And then you'll be prompted with some questions to get in the group. And the reason that the questions are there is not only to be able to connect with you more, but it is also because it shows of a level of desire to be part of the group. And we only want people who are going to be in the group and contribute and really get something from the group, because that's what it's for. And so if you don't answer the questions, then I'll send you a message and say, you haven't answered the questions, go ahead and answer them. I'll say it a little more eloquently in the message, I'll promise you. And and if you don't, then that's okay. But after a couple of days, you're deleted from the queue. And it's like, that is how only thing I can do to ascertain whether or not you're a good fit. And so you may feel like you are, and then you don't answer the questions. And then that's an indicator right there. Not to be harsh, but I'm really protective. I'm a mama bear on my group. And I want to make sure that if you invite people into the group, that they want to be there too, and they're going to be affecting the energy in such an amazing way. And as all my founding members are, my new members, all of that is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. So thank you guys for being here this morning and for sharing in that experience. And when you go in and share your gratitude or anything that's going on that you want somebody to kind of send some love and light or a prayer or whatever, make sure you put hashtag Peachy Vibes so that we can look and we know exactly what's there. And then if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And make sure that you take the time to, if you didn't do that in the moment when we were, sending that love and light, take a moment right now. And when we finish this call, if everybody wants to, they can take just a moment, take a couple of breaths and do it again, because it's magical, right? All right. So you have a very blessed day. And I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time, right here. All right. Love you guys. Mwah.